The upper Midwest saw a second big wintry storm in April. There were power outages along the carbon dioxide pipeline that carries CO2 from the Great Plains Synfuels Plant to Canada. Portable generators and battery backup systems maintained communication with the pipeline and kept the Canadian customer demand satisfied. Along the construction route for the new carbon dioxide pipeline, crews moved snow and mud and dewatered the right-of-way so construction could get back on track. At Pioneer Generation Station, 7-foot snow drifts blew in around the plant. Employees used ladders to get into the plant site. Basin Electric transmission system maintenance saw 10 lines out of service at the storm's peak, the most TSM Manager Derik Johnson has seen out at one time in his career.
So very significant impact up, but it was very isolated. So, it was isolated to that northwest North Dakota area, kind of around Williston. And once you take down, that many high voltage feeds, it's difficult to maintain, the system up there. Fortunately, on the high voltage transmission system, they're a little beefier, so they can handle a little more ice. And some of the stuff that happened up there when the ice would kind of attach to the static line or the ground wire on top of the transmission line, it would sag down into the phase conductor, and then that would actually end up being the cause of the trip. And so sometimes it doesn't actually break anything, and then when that ice starts falling off the line, it kind of pops back up, provides enough clearance to the phase conductor, and then we're able to re-energize at that time. So fortunately, in this case, that did happen on a few of the transmission lines, so we didn't sustain a lot of damage on the 10 lines that were out. Like I said earlier, the transmission system can be a little beefier, but the membership was hit really hard up in that area in the distribution system. So, they had a lot of poles down and a lot of work to do. So our thoughts were with them.
Basin Electric Security and Response Services took a near record number of calls during the storm. In 1 hour, dispatch members took calls from more than 50 different co-ops.
Looking back historically, we had probably one storm back in 2010 that was a larger storm for us. We ended up taking approximately 23,000 calls from Friday through Sunday. For us, that's basically 3 weeks of calls wrapped into 3 days. We track the linemen from the minute they take that outage call, from the minute they leave their house until they're back home safe with their family. We are tracking those linemen, both with mapping. We're doing 90-minute status checks on them to see if there's anything going on. If for some reason they missed a status check, we're sending help on the way immediately. We don't wait. Our focus is keeping linemen safe. We do that. We have a special tech line that the linemen call in on. We answer that phone before we ever touch a consumer phone. That phone does not queue up. If it rings, we answer it because that could be a Mayday call. Our focus is to keep those folks safe day in and day out.
Basin Electric members continue to recover. In North Dakota, the storm affected 14 electric cooperatives, bringing down 4,000 poles. Nearly 100 line workers across the state were dispatched, along with hundreds of contractors and crews from neighboring states.